Hello, everybody. We are so excited to be here today. And I am here to welcome Angela Michelle Barnard, aka Angelica Arc, and Christy Gorendona. In fact, Christy and I have recently started up our own Facebook group called Matrix Mastery. And it sounds like such a fun name because it is. Our mission here is to break through the matrix and master the art of being human. Sometimes we forget when we're on our spiritual path that we are still a human having a spiritual experience. So we've really got to dive into that. And Angela Michelle Barnard, aka Angelica Arc, who hosts weekly Facebook Lives. They're so much fun. If you have not caught them, you better log on and do so. In addition to her YouTube channel, her aim is to brighten up your universe and to help you master your energy. So let's get started. Today, we really wanted to dive deeper into how to demystify angel readers and angel readings. And so I wanted Christy and Angela Michelle to really just share their experience and how they found their gifts, because each story is unique and they also have quite similarities. So I want you guys, as you are listening to their stories, really start tapping into your own experience just throughout your lifetime and see, has this been happening for me too? Then perhaps this might be a path for you as well. So just as a reminder, everybody, everyone can talk to their angels. It's all about the intention, right? Like anyone can do it. It isn't just some sort of like mystical power aligned to a few special individuals. We all have these incredible psychic senses and gifts. It's really how we hone in on it and amplify it and choose through our intentional space how we want to interact with our gift. So certain people have a stronger ability to communicate with them than others. Then they are more open-minded and they have a willingness to connect. And in case you're wondering whether angel readers can read your mind, no, they cannot. In fact, they can only tune in with your permission and sometimes your subconscious permission. And they can only tell you key messages for you, messages that you're ready to receive at the time, messages that you're ready to really think about a little bit further. So rest assured, angel readers cannot know every intimate detail of your life. The purpose is to provide you with a beautiful spiritual message from your angel guidance team. So let's just see, guys. Christy, like, how did it all start for you?
Well, hi, and thank you. This is so exciting. I'm excited to be here.
We're
Um,
excited to have you.
yeah, thank you. So for me, it was all kind of an evolutionary process, honestly. I have, for a long time have been really working deep on myself and allowing myself to release a lot of stuck energy and, patterns, emotions, all of those different types of things. And then being able to really stay open to receive. So for a long time, I was really able to kind of connect into that galactic realm, and I would receive messages that way. And I would, kind of just get different types of guidance through that realm. But it wasn't until I visited an amazing place in Sedona, Arizona, which is called Angel Valley, that I really started to connect with the energy of the angels. And it all came on really kind of suddenly, actually. Like I said, I really had never really considered, aligning with that energy until I was walking the land. And as I walked this beautiful, amazing land, there are places around the environment of the property that is set apart for different angels, and they're actually kind of marked, and you just kind of walk around and allow yourself to immerse into the energy. And it wasn't until I found a space with Archangel Michael that I sat and just allowed myself to be completely open to receive. And it was there that, in my most conscious and unconscious state of being able to receive, I was delivered all of these amazing messages, messages of things that have come to fruition, and also things that have helped guide me into where I am in these moments now. As I sat there, I was thinking to myself, my gosh, all of these messages, all of these images, all of these visuals are incredible. How is this happening? What is happening? Trying to kind of, that logical mind coming through, obviously, of what was going on. So I received all of those messages. I kind of sat there for a while. I got up, I continued on the path, and I allowed myself just to kind of immerse in that energy. Now, it wasn't until a couple of days later that I wanted to go back to that same space. I was very, very drawn to the energy of Archangel Michael. And I wanted to see, was that just something that happened there? Was it just something that, is it going to happen again? I went back to that area and I completely just gave myself permission to align with whatever energy I needed to be able to receive the messages that, were going to come through. And in those moments, I got a message that, angels are always with us. They're there for our guides. They're there for our guidance. They're always there to help us. Now, we have free will, so they never interfere, but they're always there to guide and to allow us to really tap into our higher self. They are part of that higher realm, and they're always willing to serve us and willing to give us those messages of love, which is who they really are. And as I was listening to that, I'm thinking, my God, is this always available? Has this always been available to me? So I was sitting there thinking, okay, I'm ready. What messages do you have for me today? And in that moment, I was downloaded this incredible heart-spaced meditation that was so clear to me and just so overwhelmingly visual for me. And I was like, when I got out of that, I realized that all of this stuff is available to us, not only messages, but all kinds of things that are really intuitively within us, but easily able to tap into. So I allowed it, and I understood in those moments that it's all within us, that those guides and angels from that angelic realm are always willing and able to tap in. So with that, I took it, and for a long time, I felt like I needed Angel Valley to be able to tap into this. But it wasn't until I, was out of that environment for a while, and I just missed that an attachment, I guess, to that higher realm of the messages that I could get. So with that, I started to open myself up in my home, in my space, in my personal space to start to receive these messages. And as I allowed it, I realized that really it's always there. Always there. And the people that I love and the people that, come to me for advice or different things, I was able to tap in, and I realized that, wow, it's always within us to be able to offer these messages out. And real quickly, one really incredible experience I had with my daughter, and I want to share this because this was when I fully stepped into it. And we were actually in Angel Valley again, and I wasn't really prepared to channel a message for her, but it just came through because I was so completely open. She and I were sitting in this beautiful feminine energy, and she had been struggling deeply with some things about how her life was going to unfold. And as I sat there, I knew the angels were around us. I could feel the beautiful energy, and I just asked for their guidance. And in that moment, I was able to channel this beautiful message to her through her guardian angel, that really set her on a path of choosing what was in her highest good. It was the most beautiful experience that I've had, and a connection that we made, which will be everlasting. And in that moment, I realized that this is exactly what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm supposed to be tapping into these messages and allowing people to see that it is possible for them. She's able to tap into her own guardian angel now because she could see that, it's all there possible for us. And it's really you being open to receive. But in that moment, it was such a defining moment for me to understand that this is exactly what I'm meant to be doing. And since then, I have been serving many people with messages that I get through the angelic realm. And sometimes I reach out to them and just send them the message. Sometimes it's through a coaching or different things, but, and sometimes I pull cards and I'm able to channel messages, or sometimes the meditation comes through me, but it's all because I'm just really open to receive those beautiful messages. So that's really my story and how it started. And it's an incredible experience.
Wow. I just have to say that, and I don't know if Angela Michelle was feeling this as well, but just the beautiful energy that was woven throughout your story just really shined through. So that was really incredible. Thank you so much for sharing.
Thank you. It was beautiful.
Yeah, it really was. Now I feel refreshed. Angela Michelle, you had a similar experience, but yours was also quite different. Do you mind sharing with us?
It would be an absolute pleasure. I'm so pleased to be present here. And yes, when Christy spoke, my whole body was just like, wow, I don't know, the energy was just everywhere. So my story, I'm just going to begin a little bit earlier on. So I always knew that I had intuition. I was very insightful. I kind of felt older than my years when I was like, young child. And I always knew what people were thinking before they actually said it. And then in my 20s, I don't know, I had this link with anything to do with fertility and pregnancy. So anytime I was near a woman, I would know almost before they did whether they were pregnant or not. And I could feel their physical symptoms and also their emotions. So I really felt connected to people, often people that I just did not know. And then in my 30s, I started having visions. I actually saw people just before they were crossing over to the other side, passing away, if you like. And I also started having some very few and far between, some psychic abilities where I would actually see an event unfold in the future. And then I would have to wait to see how that turned out. And it was in my early 40s that I started to what I call channel, where I could actually communicate with people that had passed on the other side. And when I started having confirmation that what I was seeing and seeing with my eyes and hearing messages and whatever, that is when I thought, okay, that's a confirmation enough. I'm now intrigued. I was never scared. I was always excited. And that's when my massive interest in angels began. So we're only talking about 4 or 5 years ago. And also that was when some energetic, I would say, mending gifts started appearing. I can actually pinpoint the time when I started having what I call conversations with angels, because up until then I was very passive. I would see things and hear things and know things, but I would never ask. I didn't think I had that power. Little did I realize that we all have the power, and if we just have the confidence and the intention to actually ask and set the intention, then we can all do this to a greater or lesser extent. So my actual conversations with angels began 18 to 24 months ago. I was on a spiritual retreat. I had gone to bed. I had set an intention. I always set intentions when I go to bed. It's always something like, in the highest and best good of all, I am choosing to see visions, to hear messages, always with the aim to help my clients to experience growth or to awaken, that kind of thing. And the intention does change as the months and years go on. And on that one particular night, I woke up at 1:48 a.m. in the morning. And it was 1:48 in the morning, and I just was in a dream, but I heard this ping. And then I saw this kind of cloud in the most amazing colors that I cannot explain. So it felt so surreal. It was like I was awake in a dream. And what I saw unfold was 4 very short mini clips and visuals, if you like. And the first one was of a dove, a white dove, and it came with like a letter in its beak, so very, symbolic. And I actually then asked, in this dream state, what does the dove mean? And what is the message? And I heard, this is your awakening. And they then showed me, I saw a vision of a pelican with a baby in a cloth, another symbolic meaning. Then my heart was pounding. No, I don't want to be pregnant. But no, they said, it's your rebirth. Okay. I next saw, and it was really slow motion, like if you could imagine this old fashioned, like a cinema reel, but in the most amazing colors. And what I saw was an empty wooden boat, like a rowing boat with one oar, drifting downwards. And I felt that there was going to be a big drop. And I also felt that there was a boy missing. And so I asked, why a boat with one oar, one rowing oar? Can I have a visual? But there was nothing else. And then I heard the words, you're on a journey, get in. And then I said, but why am I thinking of a boy? And they said, you need to consider your masculine side. And I said, but I don't understand. And at that time, I didn't understand too much about masculine, feminine side, apart from the obvious. And they said, look it up. The third visual I saw was of a male person. For me, it really resembled something, a biblical man, possibly from Egyptian times, very far times ago, dressed in simple cloth clothing. He was sitting on sort of a drifting, in the modern day time, restaurant on a river, and he was drifting down, and with his right foot, he was kicking all different types and shapes and sizes of loaves of bread into the river. And I was straight into panic mode, like, isn't bread for survival? Why are you wasting the bread? Don't we need bread to survive? And the message I heard was, reverse that thought. So I was like, I should kick bread into the water? And the message I heard was, don't be afraid of losing your sustainable resources. Change, go on a journey. And the fourth visual I saw all during the same vision time beginning at 1:48 in the night was, I witnessed what seemed to be a blonde woman with my youngest daughter, who's also blonde, in a big bed having fun. And again, I saw the back of a man. I think it's the same man that appeared in the visual before. And I said, is that my youngest daughter? And the message was, it's your mirror image. Who's the woman? Who's the man? Are they my saviors? And the answer was, yes, listen to them. And then I asked, will I always have this activation? Yes. How many are there of you? I asked. 3. May I see a vision of you? There was nothing. And then it was just amazing. There was these 3 white small beams of light that appeared from like the lower level of my vision, rising up. And when I looked up, it was like there was this dark sky with stars. And it was almost like 3 prongs of a fork rising up. And I asked, can I have another visual of you? And they said no. And I said, will I see you properly one day? Maybe. I then felt that they were going to disappear. So I was like, oh, before you go, what are your names? And then they all said in unison, Gabrielle, Peter, and Matthew. And I said, oh, are they from the Bible? I don't know. I'm not so good at this. And again, they said, look them up. And then I said, how do I call angels? And they said, you just ask. And that was as if then the lights just went out. It went pitch black. And then I was wide awake. I sat there wide awake for so long until eventually I fell asleep. And that was my first, what I call Q&A, conversations with angels. And then from that moment onwards, 18 to 24 months ago, everything has just like moved forward so quickly. And that's how it worked out for me.
Wow, you guys both, I don't know if our listeners are feeling this as well, but you guys both have such a powerful frequency that's translated through your stories and your language. And it really just goes to show like what a profound effect that it can have on your life when you strengthen your connection to, you know, the spiritual aspect of things, the divine realm. And, you know, that encompasses so many things, the angels. And, you know, I connect often as well, but it's kind of like in different ways. sometimes it's more of like this galactic type, frequency interaction. And recently, this was so much fun. And I know both of you guys witnessed this as well. I've always had like this connection to fairies. We literally caught one on a recording on a live video in our group last month. It was just the most magical thing. And I think that the biggest piece of this for everyone listening is that it really is something that just brings so much brightness and vibrance to your life if you allow yourself to just kind of surrender to the infinite possibilities that we are kind of lying to at any given moment on this earthly plane, if you will. But just like, with Christy's story and Angela Michelle's story, both of it really resembles the power of surrender. When you can kind of take a step back, get into the space of openness and willingness and allowance, it's really quite magical what can happen. And I think the biggest key here is that's the demystification part of it, is that it's not anything that anyone has to do specifically for you. It's all about your own personal process and you dialing into that. And it's just really profound, and I'm just so excited. So I'm so glad that we got to hear both of your stories. Something that I wanted to ask you both, if I could, is that when you kind of get into that place of service, when you get into your service mode and you're ready to provide a message for someone, or someone comes to you and they're kind of like seeking some guidance, they're looking for some advice, they're looking for you to steer them in some way. Do you guys mind explaining how exactly you get into that service mode? Christy, I'd love to start with you if you want to kind of share what your process is and how you go about that.
So yeah, and honestly, the word surrender is so true, and that's exactly what it is. It's surrendering to your greatest potential, your greatest power that you have within you, and that's being able to tap into those higher realms. So really, it's surrendering to the process. And usually, what I do if I know that I'm going to be serving another individual is setting that intention in the highest good of all, to call in my guides, from the angelic realm, from the galactic realm, my guardian angels, my guides, any and all availability to help me to deliver a message in the highest good. And I set that intention. I really focus on my crown chakra, because that's where I can really feel that I'm most connected when I am, delivering messages, when I know I'm channeling the messages through me. And from there, I'm completely open to receive. I try to push that head space out of the way and really focus in on my heart, so that every single thing I am, referring to the individual that I'm serving is coming from that space, and that other, the head part of it is out. And it's really just flowing through my heart space. And I'm able to really give, my clients and the people that I'm serving the messages that they need to hear. It might not always be what they want to hear, but it's the messages that they need to hear, because I am aligned with that frequency. And, a lot of times it flows out of me. And I sometimes am surprised at what's coming, but I'm open to it. I'm very much knowing that whatever is going to come through will be in the highest good. So yeah, it's a beautiful process. It really is.
It sounds like such a beautiful process, and it really feels like you stepping into that, again, that place of surrender and just being that kind of pure vessel for whomever it's supposed to serve. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Angela, Michelle, I feel like you guys both have your own unique process, but I also feel like a lot of it probably, you've got a lot of similarities as well. Do you mind sharing how you go about getting into that place of service, and like when you're sitting down to get in service mode, what does that sort of look like for you?
Okay, with pleasure. So during the day, apart from being, maybe intuitive like so many of us are, when I'm actually in service mode, I do kind of change a little bit, in the sense that I sit still for a while and I take a few breaths. It could be anything from just 1 to 7, or I might really feel like I need to meditate for a good 5 minutes. I also then get up and I stretch and I shake away any sort of energy that I feel might be stagnant or blocked somewhere. I straight away set an intention. Again, always like in the highest and best good of all. I cite the name of the person that I'm in service to, and I will call in not only my angel guides, but elementals. For me, that would be any, like earth would be gnomes, or water would be, for me, undines, or air and fire. So we could bring in fairies and any elementals, as well as I do say councils. So I have this, I wouldn't say it's a routine because I know I can tap in without it, but I just do like to kind of take that breath, calm down, because I'm normally a fast speaker, and just get into the right zone. I always drink water to just clear me. And sometimes I will also grab a crystal, just because, you know, symbolically I feel that I'm connecting. And then how it appears for me is I can either straight away automatically write, and then I just need the name of the person and messages will come through. I feel things physically, so I can straight away have a pain somewhere, feel sick, touch a part of my body and know that there's either a symbolism there or they are actually in physical pain. I will see visuals, I will and they're often symbolic. So I might see something, and how I interpret them is how they are. I really trust my instinct. I believe in what I think. I don't doubt the messages that are coming through. I'll be very aware of all my senses, smells that come into the room, taste, touch, anything like that. And even if something comes across my mind and I'm distracted, I won't say, oh, naughty me, I'm distracted and I'm in service. I will actually say, okay, a distraction's coming in. This must be relevant to this client. Maybe they are often not focused, or maybe they have so many things to do that that is playing and actually maybe preventing them from living their fullest life. So I really just, I have faith, and as Christy says, you know, I'm surrendering that during this moment of connection, I am there to serve, and everything that comes through is there for a reason.
I love that. And I think that this is such a good reminder, Angela Michelle, that, you know, a lot of us, when we get even into a simple space of meditation, we think it's got to be exactly the way that it's, you know, perceived to be. The process has to be insanely quiet and all these things. But sometimes when the distraction comes in, it can be embedded with a message. And so I think that that's a really good reminder for everyone as you practice your, you know, your own meditative and self-reflective exercises, or if you're trying to connect, really just kind of take into account all of your sensory experiences and see what comes to you. You know, guys, you both have such incredible gifts. I've experienced both, actually. Angela Michelle provided a lot of my family members and myself just these profound messages, angel messages. And I just was so immediately excited about it. And I think that's why we kind of got on the train of like talking back and forth and really getting this set up for other people to experience what a beautiful enhancement it is to your process, and kind of put little pieces of the puzzle together. So if anyone is really wanting to reach out or experience this, I highly recommend maybe sending her a message. Go to her Facebook page, angelicaarc.com. Her Facebook page is so great. I love this name, Brighten Up Your Universe. So go on Facebook, check it out, like it. And especially her videos, like they're so empowering. And I love the way she always honors time. She's one of the people in my life that is absolutely on track when it comes to that. I am the exact opposite of her. And so it's so perfect that she can really deliver such a profound, powerful message. And, you know, she'll set the intention, all right, this is going to be 5 minutes. And then she goes for it. And so you just are left with a, you know, a little inspiration for the day. And Christy, the same, you know, she and I have a Facebook group together, Matrix Mastery. That is on Facebook. Type it in. We have a private group. We offer meditations, a lot of free stuff every month. We do different Q&As and things like that. So Christy can also provide you with some messages, angel guidance. She really loves to be able to tap into you and help you also connect to your heart space so you receive the message fully and that you can implement it in your life right away. So if anyone out there is just like, hey, I'm struggling with something, I just need a little extra help, please reach out to one of these ladies and be open to the guidance, be open to whatever your guides are trying to communicate with you. And so anyways, the links will be included so you can actually go visit the Matrix Mastery Facebook group, angelicaarc.com, or her Facebook group, brightenupyouruniverse.com, or Brighten Up Your Universe on Facebook. So always remember, guys, always remember that your gut is consistently speaking to you. You've just got to settle into the space. That is your intuition. That is your intuitive nudges. I am so excited that we were all able to connect today, and hopefully you found some value with this. Thank you so much for listening. We will be back in the future for more Demystifying podcasts. So watch this space, tune in, like it, subscribe, whatever needs to happen so you get the notifications. And in the meantime, we're sending you so much love. And as a reminder, stay connected.